Hey guys, today we're talking about section 2.3, talking about other measures of business activity. And in this, we're going to be talking about different investment activities, how personally you can do investment, how the government can do investment, and then we're going to talk about different types of debt as well. So first, we have investment activities, and you can invest personally too by just saving. People save money all the time to invest in their future or retirement, or maybe you're just trying to save for college, which is an investment in your future as well. So businesses, however, can invest within their business by using capital spending. Capital spending refers to money spent by a business for an item that they're going to lose for a really long period of time. And that could be equipment, it could be buildings, or it could be capital projects. And capital projects involve spending by a business for like really big things: land, buildings, equipment, new projects, maybe a whole new assembly line. And that money for capital projects can come from three main sources. It can come from the owner's personal savings. It can come from investments that they've made from the stock market, or it can come from bonds, which would be a company borrowing kind of from the everyday person. A stock, so if it's coming from the stock market, a company can go public, meaning that they can sell stock for their company. So if any of you own stock, you are kind of like part owner of a business. And that's how corporations can make money quickly to invest into new capital projects. They'll sell stock. So stock represents ownership in a corporation. Stock ownership is commonly called equity. Equity means ownership. So the value of shares of stock are affected by many different things. So different, if I own one share of stock in like Coca-Cola and one share of stock in Disney, they may be valued at different prices. It just depends on how the business is doing. But then the more stock you own, the more of the business you own as well. So that's one way that businesses can quickly earn money for capital projects, is to sell stock, because they're getting money from the public who are purchasing um, pieces of the company, and then they can use that money to buy their land or equipment or assembly line. They can also go to the bond market. A bond represents a debt for an organization. So an it's kind of like an IOU. So if I'm a business and I'm selling bonds to the public is giving me money, and then I'm promising to pay them that money back along with a little bit of extra for the use of their money. So if you purchase a corporate or a government bond, you are a creditor in that situation, meaning you're granting credit to them and they're going to have to pay you back along with interest for use of that money. Okay, so talking about borrowing and debt, I'm going to talk about the government first. So the government has a budget, just like any family would have a budget. They have certain allocation of funds that they can use to spend on certain things like public buildings and schools and highways. So a government should stick to that budget. However, it's very rare that they do. So if a government spends less than it takes in, and the government earns money by taxes, so they collect taxes from people, so that's the money they have to spend. If they spend less than what they're taking in, that is going to be a budget surplus. And that means that they have extra money, and that right there rarely happens. Uh, in contrast, though, if a government spends more than it takes in, then that is going to be called a budget deficit. So over time, a budget deficit can build up. The total amount that a government owes over all time, if they have a accumulating amount of debt, that's going to be called the national debt. And there are websites out there where you can go check and see the national debt calculator and how it's increasing over time per second. Businesses will acquire debt as well, but they typically do so by taking out loans or bonds or mortgages, borrowing money so that way they can use that money for whatever projects they're doing. And that those debts can be big or small, depending on the size of the company. And then consumers also have debts, so like everyday people, and that can be from credit cards, it can be from home mortgages, it can be student loans. So consumers have those debts as well. So the future economic challenges are with basically with emerging markets. So uh, some countries are better off than others, and then some countries are kind of up and coming, and they're emerging markets. So in emerging markets, consumer incomes and buying powers are increasing, meaning it's getting better and better. Their technology is increasing, their pay is increasing, and they're coming with more and more money and able to make their market and their economy grow. So emerging markets are a key there, and transferring and exporting and importing from those countries is growing as well. So emerging markets, consumer income and buying power is growing. Okay, so you need to go on to Google Classroom now and complete your assignment for 2-3. Have a great day.